Live speed station coverage from Martinsville Speedway is brought to you in part by Rump Steaks, smoothing it out. Clint Boyer scores another pole over Martin Truex Jr., Eric Almirola, Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski, Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, Austin Dillon, and Joey Logano. David Reagan somehow got 11th, and Parker Kligerman somehow qualified in the top 20.
Drivers, start your engines!
And the green flag is out for racing under the lights at Martinsville. Truex gets a good dive into turn 1, is now taking the lead off of Clint Boyer. Martin Truex Jr. out to already a 4-car length lead over his teammate Kyle Busch now in his second, as Truex will lead the first lap. Martin Truex Jr. is now pulled out to a little over a 1-second lead over his teammate Kyle Busch. Ryan Blaney in third, Clint Boyer in fourth, and Chase Elliott in fifth. 3 wide racing for literally last. So we got a Childress car and 2 Rick Ware cars battling for dead last, directly in front of Martin Truex Jr., who is now pulled out to a 2-second lead over his teammate. Clint Boyer is now fallen to 8th, but Kevin Harvick has climbed up to 6th. Derek Cope just forced Truex to the high line. Cope battling to stay on the lead lap. Now halfway through stage 1. The gap between first and second is now less than a second and a half. This gaggle of lap cars has allowed Kyle Busch to now gain 5/10 that past lap. Lead now only 6/10. 4 wide at Martinsville. That's incredible. Derek Cope also in this. And Cope spins Landon Castle along with Matt Tifft. Caution is out. Off 4, Martin Truex Jr. will lead us back to the caution. Of course 4 wide wouldn't work at a half mile. I think they proved that like 7 times at Bristol. But Derek Cope is the aggressor, so... First car off pit road, Martin Truex Jr. over Kyle Busch, the same way they went down. But now Chase Elliott has taken 3rd position. Only 15 laps to go in stage 1, and the green is back out. And the caution flag is back out. Only a 1-lap dash that time by. Alright, so brain fade kicked in. 2 teammates wrecked each other out of the Rick Ware stable to bring a caution out before the race even fully restarted. So Kyle Busch is going to stay out as Martin Truex Jr. comes down pit road along with Chase Elliott, and Denny Hamlin stays out along with Daniel Suarez. So they will now assume the top spots. Green flag is back out with only 9 laps to go. Kyle Busch leads the field off into turn 1 over his teammate Denny Hamlin. Kyle Busch got slightly blocked by the 36 car, the lap car of Matt Tifft, but he managed to get on his inside and is now trying to overtake the lap car. That did allow Denny Hamlin to gain by about 1/10 that lap. Only 3 to go. Denny's now closed the gap to about a car length. Landon Castle's the only lap car in the picture, and Hamlin goes really wide. Almost like something went wrong and we now have a caution, and Kyle Busch has won stage 1. So here's what brought out the stage-ending caution. Ryan Blaney turns the 53 of Josh Bilicki, the lap car, on the front straightaway, and causes a stack-up with BJ McLeod, Ryan Preece, and Ross Chastain. And I'm not exactly sure why Denny Hamlin just missed the corner. Had he put in some sort of effort, he might have won the first stage. But that's Dennis. The green flag is out for stage 2, and Kyle Busch, stage 1 winner, leads over Denny Hamlin and Joey Logano. Now Martin Truex Jr. challenging for 3rd position to make the top 3 spots owned by Joe Gibbs. And we have another spinner. Caution flag is out. The top 3 are still held by Joe Gibbs. So the caution was brought out by Daniel Hemrick getting turned by Kyle Larson. Larson having an extremely off race this weekend. Been running in the bottom 30 for about the entire race. Ooh, Kyle Busch has just made contact with Clint Boyer on pit road. First car off of pit road is Martin Truex Jr. above Kurt Busch and Brad Keselowski. But a few cars stayed out. So the lead will now be held by Daniel Suarez above his teammate Eric Almirola and surprisingly David Reagan. And the green flag is back out. The top 5 cars from Daniel Suarez down to Ross Chastain did not pit on that last cycle of stops, but everyone from Kurt Busch back did make a pit stop. Daniel Suarez is now pulled out to a few car length lead over his teammate Eric Almirola, and David Reagan challenging for second position. That's unexpected in his supposedly final career season, his final full-time season. The damage that Kyle Busch received on pit road forced him to make an additional pit stop and has now fallen to the tail end of the lead lap. Your top 5 is Daniel Suarez, Eric Almirola, David Reagan, Eric Jones, and now Brad Keselowski. Eric Almirola has now caught Daniel Suarez. Less than a car length separates the two teammates. Almirola goes really wide through turns 3 and 4 and loses most of the ground that he gained. 3 wide in the back with the 2 Rick Ware cars and Kyle Larson. A lot of beating and banging just trying to stay on the lead lap with most of these cars, such as the Busch brothers, who got in a little bit of trouble on that last restart and had to make unscheduled stops. Ooh, the 10 car of Eric Almirola just rammed the 96 who was coming off of pit road and lost about 5/10 to his teammate Daniel Suarez. Only 20 to go in stage 2. Suarez goes really wide through 1 and 2. Allowed his teammate to regain more time. Would you believe David Reagan? He's still holding on to 3rd position with a charging Dennis. So he's doing a great job. Almirola going low on Suarez. And is now taking the lead. Now only 15 laps to go in stage 2. Denny Hamlin's caught up to the top 2 positions. He's now within 1 second of Eric Almirola. Almirola's been able to pull out to about a 6 car length lead over his teammate Daniel Suarez, who is now holding up Denny Hamlin. Out of the entire top 10, only 3 of them have won a race this season. Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, and Chase Elliott are the only 3. The rest are winless so far. Only 10 laps to go, and Eric Almirola is now pulled out to a 1 second lead over now Denny Hamlin, who has taken 2nd. Car stopped on the racetrack. Eric Almirola is involved. Denny Hamlin's involved. Ryan Preece now involved. Daniel Suarez has now taken the lead over David Reagan. Caution is out. What even just happened? So smoke starts billowing out of the 1 car of Kurt Busch. He stalls it on the back straightaway, and the 10 car has nowhere to go and goes flat out into the 1, and so does Dennis. Well, what could have turned into the first win of the season for Eric Almirola has now turned into disappointment. Daniel Suarez, the first car off pit road, with David Reagan, Martin Truex Jr., and Joey Logano. Dennis Hamlin is now retired, and Eric Almirola currently resides in 21st position. We're now only going to have a 3-lap shootout for Stage 2. Suarez got a bit of a jump over David Reagan. Lead is now out to about 2 car lengths between first and second. White flag is out for Stage 2. Suarez has a significant lead over David Reagan. Now out to 7 car lengths. Daniel Suarez has now won Stage 2. And the green flag is out for Stage 3. David Reagan now going under the lap car of Josh Bilicki to get a clear shot towards the 41. Kyle Busch has now had a mechanical failure and has joined his brother in the garage. Once again, Bubba Wallace is running in the top 10. Currently in 9th position, so great job for Richard Petty's team, but more importantly, David Reagan is now gaining on Daniel Suarez by about 0.2 a lap. Could you imagine if he wins a race in his final full-time season? Reagan onto the inside of Daniel Suarez. And David Reagan has now taken the lead under Daniel Suarez, and we have a caution out at this time for a spinning number 17 car. Coming off 4, David Reagan will lead us back to the caution. Would you believe it? Once again, we have another car having a mechanical failure, slowing on the racetrack. And it just led to him getting ran over by the 77 car. So the first car off pit road, still David Reagan. Above now, Martin Truex Jr., Ty Dillon, and Daniel Suarez dropped 2 positions on pit road. And the green flag is back out. Martin Truex Jr. got a little bit of a jump on David Reagan. Right to the back bumper. Truex going low on Reagan. Kind of sounds like a midfield battle from 2007. Still side by side, but now Martin Truex Jr. has taken the lead over David Reagan. Martin Truex Jr. has already pulled out to about a 1-second lead over David Reagan and Daniel Suarez. And now Daniel Suarez has taken second over David Reagan. If you want to know why Harvick is dominating the regular season standings, simple consistency. Take this race for example. Has damage on both ends of his race car, but names such as Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin have wrecked out, and he hasn't. And he's only running in 11th position, so he's able to get the car to the checkered flag in one piece. Truex has now put a 3-second gap on Daniel Suarez with less than 50 laps to go. 4 wide doesn't work. A lot of contact going on between Truex and Jimmy Johnson. Truex lost an awful lot of ground in that corner trying to avoid the stopped 14 car, which has now brought out a caution. Our pole sitter, Clint Boyer, has now had a mechanical failure. I believe that's the 3rd one of the race. First car off pit road is Martin Truex Jr. over Daniel Suarez, Ty Dillon, and Ryan Newman. And the green flag is back out with only 40 laps to go. Truex got a great jump over Suarez, but gets blocked by a lap car of Brad Keselowski, which has now brought the field back together. Truex trying to pass the lap cars, and contact with the 10 and 2. Almirola is around, 13 car involved, 9:38, 37. And the caution is out with Truex the leader. Kevin Harvick, once again being Mr. Consistency, is now up to 5th position because he avoided the crash. Green flag is back out. Truex leads over Suarez and Ryan Newman. Ryan Newman going for 2nd position. On the inside, going 3 wide into 1. As Truex is now checked out to almost a 2-second lead. Caution is out once again. And the 8 car has been turned for, I believe, the 3rd time this race. Truex still the leader. Once again, the 8 car gets turned around. just loses it by himself on entry to 1. And also an incident occurred between Chastain and DiBenedetto. Derek Cope spins Chastain into 1. DiBenedetto collides into him. And we are back green with only 26 laps to go. Truex leads over Ryan Newman and Daniel Suarez, and now has a 4-car length lead over Ryan Newman. Suarez is on to pit road. I would guess this would be his final stop of the race as the 43 car has been turned by Cody Ware. And has brought out a caution as they race back to the line. Kevin Harvick is now up in the 3rd position, trying to take 2nd, but cannot get there in time. Green flag is back out with less than 20 laps to go. Truex still leads over Ryan Newman. Kevin Harvick has now taken 2nd position. We may be seeing a repeat of Dover on our hands. We now only have 9 cars on the lead lap, from Truex down to Joey Logano. Would you believe Matt DiBenedetto is currently running in 5th position, along with Darrell Wallace Jr. in 6th. Truex now has a 2-second lead over Kevin Harvick and a 3-second lead over Ryan Blaney in 3rd position. Derek Cope is running in 13th position. Incredible. Only 10 laps to go, and we have another caution. Truex leads us back to the line over Kevin Harvick. So Josh Bilicki once again gets involved in an accident. This time tries spinning the 77 and ends up spinning himself. And the green flag is out for only a 5-lap dash to the finish. Truex leads over Harvick and Blaney. Truex now out to an 8-car length lead over Kevin Harvick. With only 3 laps to go, the gap is now 2 seconds, with Ryan Blaney trying to take 2nd over Kevin Harvick. And the white flag is out for Martin Truex Jr., who leads over Kevin Harvick by 2.5 seconds. And Martin Truex Jr. finally will win on a short track and break his winless streak this season and score his first win for Joe Gibbs. And here are the official race standings. The top 2 are just inverted of what last week was. Martin Truex Jr. wins over Kevin Harvick, Ryan Blaney in 3rd, Ryan Newman 4th, Daniel Suarez, Matt DiBenedetto, Joey Logano, Bubba Wallace, Austin Dillon, and Brad Keselowski round out the top 10. And Derek Cope got 13. Kevin Harvick once again extends his regular season point lead over Brad Keselowski, now out to 72 points. Joey Logano moves up 1 position, now up to 4th in points. Paul Menard moves up 2 up to 6th. Martin Truex Jr. moves up 2 into 8th. And Kyle Busch drops 4 positions in points, down to 10. In the playoff standings, Martin Truex Jr. has now moved up to 5th in points with his win. Kyle Larson is now 5 points out of the cutoff, and Chris Buescher is only 5 points above. The next race is the All-Star race, $1 million to win, and 0 championship points on the line. Catch it right here on the Speed Station.